11 wild seasons, Shameless vanished. Just like that. When the final episode aired in April 2021, fans were stunned.
Abort mission! Abort!
I fall asleep.
You can't fall asleep.
Tired.
Why pull the plug while millions were still watching? Shameless became a hit thanks to its unforgettable characters and the amazing performances from its main cast. After 11 years, any show's quality will likely decrease, but Shameless stayed a fan favorite right up to the end. However, despite strong ratings for the finale, many viewers felt it didn't quite deliver. The Gallaghers took their final bows in the Shameless series finale, but for most of the characters, it didn't feel like a true ending, except for one major exception. Warning: spoilers ahead for the finale of 11 seasons. That's not to say the finale lacked memorable moments. After all, these are the fast-thinking Gallaghers of Chicago's South Side. Most fittingly, family patriarch Frank receives a tragic send-off, which in turn gives the rest of the family space to move forward. The finale picked up right where the previous episode left off. Frank Gallagher, played by William H. Macy, had overdosed. His kids and grandchildren tried desperately to wake him, but he stayed unconscious, only to stumble out the door in a daze after they left. From there, the episode followed each Gallagher sibling on their final journeys. Lip, played by Jeremy Allen White, took on a new job as a delivery man. Ian, Cameron Monaghan, and Mickey, Noel Fisher, hunted for furniture in their new place. Carl, Ethan Kutkoski, handed out tickets to unsuspecting drivers, and Debbie, played by Emma Kenny, found love with a criminal on the run. The finale closed with everyone gathering at Kev's, Steve Howie, and V's, Shanola Hampton, bar.
But all of us, to a man, knows the most important thing in this life. We know how to f***ing party!
To celebrate Ian and Mickey's first anniversary as husbands. Meanwhile, Frank was rushed to the hospital and died alone. The show ended with Frank's ghostly voiceover as he floated over the bar and drifted toward the sky. Fans commended that the ending wasn't bad, but it felt a bit flat.
Fiona, you cry a lot as a baby. You're mad all the time.
Take deep breaths. Try not to talk.
Frank's death was expected, but that wasn't the main issue. His storyline was probably the only one that wrapped up this season. Every other question was left hanging. Will Lip sell the house? Will Kevin V finally sell the bar? Will Carl let his sister and niece run off with someone dangerous? Viewers are left with unanswered questions. So, what went wrong? The open ending didn't feel bold. It felt aimless, like the writers simply ran out of direction. Too many characters were left adrift, their arcs fizzling instead of finishing strong. Take Lip, for example. A brilliant mind who clawed his way through addiction and hardship. At the start of the final season, he seemed on track. Sober, employed, fixing up a house and being a solid dad. But by the end, he'd lost the house, the job, and any sense of hope. The finale offered no redemption, no resolution, just a bleak shrug, as if his growth meant nothing. Lip, a character with so much promise, continued to fall short, and that was not satisfying. The same goes for Debbie. She found a love interest the fans really liked, but they broke up at the last minute. Then, Debbie got paired with a dangerous criminal on the run. A strange twist that left fans of the show confused. Even Liam, the youngest Gallagher, lacked direction. No one could predict the trajectory of his story, only that he lost his father and will probably have to mourn alone. Worse than the character endings was the episode itself. It sort of seemed rushed and lacked coordination. No suspense, no real payoff. Just a slow, predictable fade-out that felt more like a mid-season filler than the final chapter of a groundbreaking series. And that's what made it even more annoying to the fans. Shameless was never meant to end like that. It was messy, chaotic, raw. But the finale lacked all of that edge. And then came the final blow, Fiona, the show's original heartbeat, the one who carried the Gallagher family on her back for 9 seasons. Fiona. Even though Fiona left before the final 2 seasons, she was a huge part of why the show worked. Her absence wasn't just disappointing, it felt like erasure. Emmy Rossum couldn't return for the finale because of COVID-19 restrictions, which is understandable. However, to many, it is harder to accept how little Fiona was mentioned in the last episode of the show she once was the heart of. Sure, she moved away, but it felt like she was erased from the family's story. That didn't sit right with many fans, and it didn't feel true to the Gallaghers or the spirit of the show. There's leaving things to the imagination, and then there's giving absolutely no closure. Shameless chose the latter. Fans did learn that Mickey and Ian were thinking about having kids, which is a hopeful note. But for Lip, Jeremy Allen White, the show's frequent punching bag, there's no resolution. Debbie went off on a Thelma and Louise-style road trip with her criminal fling, Heidi, Shakira Barrera, and her daughter riding shotgun. Fans felt that was confusing, especially after Debbie spent the whole season worrying about leaving the Gallagher house. Poor Liam, Christian Isaiah, is left in limbo too. He doesn't know what's next for Frank or for himself. Sure, he was once told he could live with Lip and Tammy, Kate Minor, but their plans remain unclear. And maybe the biggest cliffhanger? Carl also bumped into his ex, Tish, Chelsea Alden, in the penultimate episode, and she's heavily pregnant. However, the finale never circles back to that. Will Carl step up? Will he not? Ultimately, maybe Shameless ended because it was the right time. The creative team wanted to go out on a high note. Losing its lead actress changed the show's dynamic in a big way. The characters had run their course, their stories fully told. And the reality of a global pandemic gave the finale a raw edge. The finale was pure Shameless. No lottery wins, no sudden escapes. The Gallaghers were still struggling, still living in that rundown house, still tied to each other. As Frank's spirit floats above the neighborhood, watching his family sing along to The Way We Get By around a burning Tesla in front of the Alibi, the show delivers its final message. Life for the Gallaghers doesn't end. People say you can't drink your troubles away, Frank said in his letter. I say you're just not drinking enough. Guess that's it. Not much left to say, really. Except time's precious. F***ing waste it. Have a good time. I sure as hell did. For 11 seasons, viewers watched that journey. Apparently, ending the show was the creators' way of respecting that journey, closing the book before the story could ever lose what made it Shameless. Despite its flaws, the Shameless finale still delivered some satisfying moments. The subtle parallels between the final scene and the pilot didn't go unnoticed, and though most characters lacked clear arcs in the final season, Frank's journey stood out. The series ending with his death and his children continuing to live, love, and struggle in true Gallagher fashion might have been the most fitting conclusion Shameless could offer. What did you think of the finale? Should the show have kept going, or was it a little disappointing? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more content like this. Before you go, kindly watch the other videos on your screen. Thanks for watching.